Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to another episode of MTCN Catch Up. As you can see, I'm trying something new with how I record these, so at the very least you guys have something to look at, which is kind of working for and against me right now, because like the light's like half my face, and the screen is making my other face kind of blurry, so right now I look a little like Two-Face. And I'm also realizing now that I'm recording that this title is probably going to read backwards on the actual video, but that might actually work to my benefit, which I probably won't get a copyright strike, which is, yay, good for me. So, as I'm sure you can gather by the screen, if you can read backwards, I am taking a look at Sing Street. And this was a movie that came out last year. Didn't get a chance to see it, mostly because I didn't know about it. Last year was such a clusterfuck, I probably wouldn't have had time for it anyway. But this was a request brought to you by, and I made sure I had the name handy here so I would not forget or mispronounce it. I'm probably going to do that anyway. But this is brought to you by Camille. Is it Camille? Camille Domingo. And I'm so sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Thank you so much for the request. This is actually her second request on this show. Her previous one she did, she had me review Eye in the Sky. That's what it was. Eye in the Sky. So for those of you can thank her for that. For that one and this one. And thank you, Camille, for actually asking me to see good movies. So yeah, it's really good. I was really worried at first because for like the first solid, 10, 15 minutes of this movie, I had no clue. Like, I had no clue what to feel about this movie. Like, it would start out so bizarrely and so all over the place. I couldn't tell what it wanted to be for the first, like, I don't want to say 10, 15 minutes. And a lot of stuff I was seeing, I was like, oh, really? We're doing this? Okay, this is the route we're going. But once it finds its pacing, once it finds a focus, it gets really good. And you find out why this movie has a wide appeal. And the fact that, my fucking god, this movie has charm to spare. This movie is so charming and so delightful. And even though you know these characters are making terrible decisions, you're rooting for them so much. You want them to succeed so badly. You're willing to forgive all the dumb shit they do as being this dumb hormonal teenagers. And you root for him. And the main character, whose name I'm totally blanking on right now, has this great arc from beginning to end. And and you're just rooting for him this entire time. And it's so wonderful from seeing him become like the quiet wallflower to like the just insanely confident man who at this point is like, he starts off taking a lot of shit, then ends up taking no shit from anybody, and I actually have a huge amount of respect for that. So okay, what's the story? So the story is it's about this boy who's this 15-year-old kid, and I'm blanking on his name, it's gonna drive me crazy, and he's in this terrible household, he's in this kind of broken family household with his brother, who is amazing in this film. I was looking up the kid on IMDb, and he's done some other things, and if this kid doesn't have a better career after this movie, I will be massively disappointed, and I'm so sorry for the lighting. The lighting is really shitty. I'm gonna see if I can maybe focus it on something. That didn't do anything. So I really gotta get better lighting in this place. Oh, that just made it worse. What the fuck? Come on. No, focus. Is that... No, I just made it worse. Okay, I'm just going to ignore it for now and focus on the movie. So, the movie here is about this shy kid who, because of his shitty parents, one of them played by Littlefinger, which, okay, it's weird seeing him as not just an overt villain in something. Anyway, they're trying to cut costs because their marriage is falling apart, but they don't want to admit it's falling apart yet, so they send their son into a Christian college, like a very Catholic college, like everything you can see. I'm gonna try to fix this lane. Hold on, pause. Okay, that's better. Sorry, that was really bugging me. I couldn't figure it out on the camera, so I just moved my lamp closer. Best I can do, guys. Still on a budget. If you want to help, you know how to help. Patreon donation to the YouTube, anyway. So what was I talking about? Oh yeah. So this is where I was really confused for like the first 50 minutes of this movie, because again, I didn't really hear anything about this movie going into it except that it was a musical, and that was about it. So I go into this movie, and the first thing I see is like kid indie feel kind of movie, kid playing the guitar. My first thought was like, oh, this is gonna be Once, which is also a very good movie that also takes place in Dublin. Okay, I mean, does it take place in Dublin? Probably not Dublin, but like Europe, Britain, somewhere around there. And he gets sent to this Catholic school, and I don't know what the fuck is going on with this Catholic school. It is just an insane school of insane people, like throwing dead rats at each other. They're like farting, like just doing this insane shit, and nobody seems to give a crap until the principal comes in, principal, I guess. And then it cuts to the title credits, and like from there, I was like, okay, I don't really know how to feel about this quite yet. By the way, for those who don't know, this takes place in 1985, Dublin, I believe. So like for a while there, like I don't know where this is going. I don't know what it's going with. There's a bully named Billy who is just the bully, a character, just this. It's like every bully I've ever seen. At first, immediately he comes in, I'm thinking, jeez, really? We're gonna have the bully character, okay. And then the principal is just needlessly aggressive and forceful. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. Really, all my problems with this movie are really the school. Like, whenever it's not in the school environment, it's great. It's like everything I want it to be. It's delightful that everyone has great chemistry with each other. There's so much charisma. This movie has fucking charm coming out of its ass. It's fantastic. And then we'll occasionally have a scene with where the bully tries being a bully or the principal's a massive tool, and we're sitting there like, okay, all right, okay. Thankfully, these scenes don't happen very often, so it's kind of a forgivable thing. And it works as a driving force, like motivation. Okay, whatever. So, on the first couple days he's at this school, he meets this girl across the street who, again, I'm so fucking bad with names. I'm gonna go IMDb this movie just so I can have it for reference while I'm doing this review. But anyway, so she's talking to this. So he's talking to this girl who is kind of a model, and previously his brother is a really, really big music fan, is a huge music nerd, knows everything about everybody. And this is around the age where sorry, I got an email. Where music videos were first starting to come out, and he's describing them as high art, and how all these have these great artistic qualities, and how these beautiful women in there, and this kid, the main character is this 15-year-old kid, so of course he wants to get laid. He really does. So he has this attractive woman, something about him just draws to her, probably just teenage hormones. Okay, I am almost at the place where Connor, that's the main character's name, Connor. So Connor walks up to this girl. Before that, he meets up with this kid. I think his name is Philip. He's this little nerdy redheaded kid who has a surprising amount of personality for a 13-year-old. And they kind of team up. And in order to impress this girl who doesn't go to the school, just kind of hangs out of the house across the street, he says, oh, by the way, I'm in a band. We're going to make a video. You should be in that video, as basically just a weird pickup line. And it works. Then he goes back over to Philip and goes, we need to be in a band. We need to be in a band now. So basically this whole movie is kickstarted because Connor really wants to get laid. Which, it worked out well. It worked out well for him. Good for him. Good for Connor. And then turns out, Philip knows all these other extra... I think his name is Philip. I'm sorry if I'm getting this wrong. Philip's this other music nerd. I think his name's Dean. It starts with a D or something like that. He's just kind of he looks a lot like... crap, what was his name? The guy in Hot Tub Time Machine 2 and 1408... Michael something... It's gonna drive me... John Cusack. This kid looks like a younger version of John Cusack, and he's great. And then they form this band. They find two other guys, bassist and the drums. They're kind of this weird little duo. One dresses up as a cowboy at one point because that's the only costume he has, and it's fucking fantastic. They find the one black guy in all of Dublin apparently to pick up the piano or the keyboard. Sorry. And they form this band. And from there, the movie really finds its footing. It finds its place. It knows what it wants to be from then on. And it's great because all these characters have such great chemistry together. The songs are really, really catchy. The story and the character... I mean, the story's pretty cut and dry. It's kind of... You've seen the story before, but it makes up for the fact that it is so goddamn charming. And these characters are so likable and so rootable. Like, again, at the very end, I kept thinking to myself, like, God damn it, this movie is winning me over. Like, I was almost getting mad at myself by how charmed I felt by these characters. Like, I felt like I was being shamelessly manipulated, but I was liking it too much to care. And it just works on a great level. And Connor evolves so much as a character, in that, like, he starts to... Because he kind of finds his own place. He finds his place in this band, and he talks to his brother about it, and they bond over that, and the brother has some great, hilarious fucking lines, like, very early on, he finds out the girl he's pursuing, Anne, I think her name is, like Annabelle, something like that? Not Annabelle, starts with an A. But anyway, so... I'm just going to call her Anne, because that's what's listed on IMDb. So, if you want to correct me, by all means, go ahead. But, yeah, I'm going to keep talking. Oh, the brother's name is Brennan, by the way. And, Connor is convinced that Anne has a boyfriend, because it's kind of this the loser, bad boy kind of thing, because after he drops him off after the first film shoot, which was an amazing sequence, by the way, he drops him off on the bike, and then the guy, this kind of drunk guy in a car drives back up, like, yeah, boy, come hop in my car, baby, let's go, that kind of thing. So they hop away, and then the great line later was when he's telling his brother about this, and guy's like, he blasts music in his car, what was he listening to? Genesis? Won't work out. Why? No man. What's the fucking line? No woman can ever truly love a man that listens to Phil Collins. It was like, fucking hell, that's a great line. But no, like, Connor and Brennan have this fantastic chemistry. Connor and the kid who looks like John Cusack has this great chemistry. All these characters have really great chemistry. Him and Anna have great chemistry. All these characters have such good chemistry with each other. They work so well with each other. They're bouncing back and forth. It's fucking great. Even at the very end, they have his concert in the Catholic school prom night, basically. And there's a part where this is 1985, so he has like some weird moments here that will not hold up today. Like, people call it like fags all over the place, and I apologize for using that word, but it's kind of unavoidable when talking about this movie. And there's a part where they're about to spread on stage, and they're wearing these kind of ridiculous, like, rocker costumes, and some guy in the back yells out that particular slur, and Connor's guy's microphone and goes, Dad, if you're gonna just shit talk us, you probably shouldn't have come here. It's like, oh, that's a great fucking attitude to come at this with. But again, for like, if I'm gonna go with like stuff I didn't like in this movie, I was a little disappointed that we didn't really get to know a whole lot of the other band members, because I really like the setup for them, and I really want to know more about them, but really only get to know Connor and the John Cusack member a bit. That's really about it. Like, the black member of the band had this great introduction where, like, the kid Phil just does not know how to talk to black people, apparently. So he's trying to do, like, he's almost talking to, someone who doesn't speak the language. And the black guy just looks at him and goes, what the fuck is wrong with him? And he goes, why don't you speak our language? Yeah, I've lived as long as my fucking mom. What the fuck is your problem? It's great. But that's like the most dialogue he has the entire movie. And I was disappointed by that, because I was like, oh, you could have had this great, like, it would have been great. You could have this great chemistry together, but nah, you kind of took that, okay, disappointing. The same goes for the other two members. Like, they almost have like a Beavis and Butthead kind of vibe to them. They're all like, they barely talk through the movie. But even then, there's still some great lines in there to begin with. Like when Connor, who at this point is very confident man, walks in school, and I love the swagger he has going back to school. Like, for one, when he starts out, he is very shy, keeps to himself. Then he has this whole posse. They're wearing these ridiculous clothes. They don't give a shit who judges them. They're doing their own thing. I have a huge amount of respect for that. And they see this flyer for like the disco prom thing that the Catholic Church is throwing out there. And he goes, we need to do this. And the John Cusack is like, why should we do this? We're not ready to do this. Like, that's exactly why we need to do this. We need a deadline. We need to be able to sit down and focus and write our songs. And he goes, like, I need to focus on midterms. This means a lot to my parents. Midterms don't matter, but it matters to my parents. And he goes, it's like, it matters to me. They want, my parents want me to go to college. Long pause. Will there be girls there? Yes, let's do it. It's like shit like that. It is such a... like... When you get past all the dumb school shit with the bully and the principal, there's a lot to like here. And like the good outweighs the bad in a big way. I had a blast watching this. I had really, really enjoyed this. I do highly recommend it. It is on Netflix. Go check it out. It's got some annoying cliches in there, but you know what? It's got the likable characters. It's got the energy. It's got the optimism. It's really delightful. I was cheering for these characters. From like the first 15 minutes on, I was cheering for these characters, and I was pleasantly surprised. Really glad I saw it. I think that's all I can think of to say about Saint Street. Next up on my list, I don't know when I'll get to this, but I did get a couple requests for, I think the first two Equestria Girls movies. I think it's the humanized version of My Little Pony, basically. So I got the request to those first two movies, so I'll get to those eventually. I still gotta check out Iron Fist. I've been putting that off, I will fully admit it, but I'll get to it pretty soon. Other than that, I think I still gotta see Ghost in the Shell. There's a lot that I gotta do, and I'm gonna find time for it eventually. Don't know when I'll do it, but that's why this show exists. So if you have your own requests, feel free to leave it in the comments or send me a message on the YouTube channel. Or you can send me an email at michaelthecomicnerd@gmail.com. Let me know what you want to check out. In the meantime, I'm going to slap this on YouTube, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.